Hey guys, welcome back to another tutorial. And this is going to be, again, part of the shooting range tutorial series here in Unreal Engine 4. So just to kind of show you where we left off, we have the ability to spawn, and it explodes. And we also have a timer at the top that counts down from 59 seconds all the way down to 0. And we have a placeholder for our score for our HUD. And this tutorial pretty minor, but something I wanted to learn how to do and how to take a little time to figure out. What we want to have happen is basically limit our character's rotation. So right now he can spin full 360. So like when you're spawning it, you can shoot it right there. And we don't want that. We don't want you to be able to shoot it until it gets basically in front of you. So we want to limit the rotation that the player can really turn to. And first I thought it was something you had to do in the actual character blueprint. You had to like kind of limit the camera's rotation there. But I was able to find something very simple to do to limit that and how you can change that dynamically. But it does require that we create 2 new blueprint classes. So we'll show you how to do that. So let's go into our blueprints folder. Let's right click, new blueprint, and we have to find a camera manager class. So right here you see player camera manager. Select that and then hit select, creates a new one. We're going to call this BP camera manager. And let's double click that. Now let's go into the default settings here. And in the default settings, we have view pitch min, view pitch max, same for yaw and roll for the minimum maximum values. And this is where we can actually change and limit the player's rotation. So yaw is the rotation this way, so you know, pivot this way, that way. And right now it's set from 0 to 359, basically 360 degrees. We basically want to limit that. So the min is 90 and the max is -90 if I remember correctly. We'll update that accordingly, but we're going to compile that and save it. And that's all we really need to do in the camera manager. But now we need to create a new controller class. So let's do blueprint, player controller, do BP, shooting range underscore controller. So we're going to double click on that. We're going to go to defaults. And there's a top section right here under the player controller section. It's going to say player camera manager class. That's going to be the one that we just made, the BP camera manager. So let's hit none and go to BP camera manager. Compile, save that. The last thing we need to do, we got to go to the edit and then the project settings and then maps and modes. And under default modes, there's a drop down for selected game mode. Open that up, and instead of player controller class being the normal player controller, we're going to do BP shooting range controller. And that should be all we have to do. So let's hit Control P to play an editor, and there we go. We can't turn anymore past this point. You can also limit the up and down. So let's do that as well. That'll be fun. So it's going to be the pitch. So we'll do -40 and +60. Save all that. And that's as far as I can look down. And that's as far as I can look up. So it's really cool. You can limit that. Again, it's in the camera manager. You have to create a new class for that. But that's all you really have to do. And just to show you something really cool, you can actually toggle between the actual max, min and max values of this camera manager. So let's go to the player controller. I believe this is where we need to do it. I'm just going to grab an F key event, just so every time we press F, and just to make sure it's working, we'll plug that up, compile, and every time we hit F, it says hello in the corner, so we know that gets called. So we're going to go camera, and we're going to need to get the player camera manager. Oh, everything crashed. Let me open that back up. Sorry about that. Luckily we saved everything anyway, so we just need to get back to those classes. Restore now, please. There we go. So back in our graph, we need to go back into our shooting range controller. Again, we're going to need to get camera manager, and then we're going to do yaw. And we're going to set the yaw max and min. And also for the F, we're going to grab what's called a flip-flop. So basically it toggles between A and B as every single time you press it. So when we press F the first time, we basically want to give ourselves, like, just as a fun little testing thing, we're going to toggle between having the limited camera view and having the full 360 camera view. So for view max for yaw, we'll create to 360, and view min is 0. So do that. And then for B, we'll set it to how we had it. So -90 and 90. Let's open up our level again. Okay, so let's test this out. So right now we're limited, but if I press F, actually, that's broken. View max has to be, I believe, 359. So again, limited, and then now we can spin full 360. Press F again, snaps us. It's pretty fun. Also, if you're in here and you press F, it doesn't snap you, but if you're past the range, it'll snap you to the closest one. So again, that's how you can limit it, and two different ones. But for the purposes of this tutorial, we don't need this. I just wanted to show you that you can. So definitely keep that in mind. It's very cool, in my opinion. So now we have limited turning. We still have the ability to spawn. And I think I made this change without showing you guys. So let's go find our disk. So in our BP disk here, I have it set to basically destroy your projectile when it makes contact. Because before, when you shoot the discs, the projectile would keep going or bounce off. See, it bounces off that way. I'd rather have it so that it gets destroyed. So all you have to do is really take that other actor that it hits with and destroy it. And it'll only get called if that other actor is your projectile. So you don't have to worry about it destroying whatever actor it runs into. But just for fun, I want to set it to that. So now every time, whatever we shoot this at, it should destroy the actor it collides with. But it doesn't. Oh, never mind. This is not the projectile class. This is whatever hits the actual disc. That's my fault. So let me plug this back up the way it was. But if we go into the projectile, and do a destroy actor, it should destroy whatever it hits. Oh, it destroyed me though. That's pretty funny. Alright, either way, we don't need that setup anyway. So let's compile everything again. everything working. We got limited rotation. We're able to fire projectiles, spawn new ones. And what we really have to do is set up the scoring aspect, which we're going to do in the next tutorial. So definitely keep an eye out for that one. But this one I wanted to do for sure because this is something that was racking my brain for a bit on how to limit the camera rotation this way. So again, just to recap on that, we needed to create two new classes. One was a camera manager, and the other one was a player controller. And in the camera manager default options, you'll have options here for pitch, yaw, and roll to basically create a limitation on how far it can rotate on each axis. And then in the player controller, you just add that camera manager there. And then last but not least, you gotta basically tell your game to use that player controller, and you do that in the project settings, right where it says player controller class. So that's everything we did here today. Hopefully you enjoyed the content of this video. Hopefully it helps you a lot. I know it definitely will be able to open doors for things I want to work on too. So definitely subscribe if you haven't, like the video if you enjoyed the content. Comment with suggestions, questions, things like that. And definitely share the video too, just so this information gets out there faster, because I want people to know how to do this so they can, create the games they want to make. So again, this is it for this video. I just want to thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!